Dear participants in the first sleep of SA Heads of State, good morning. It was a great pleasure and an honor to be here today. A blessed date, a memorable date, July 6, 2024, here in Niamey. First of all, let us give thanks to God who made this day possible. We thank Him for everything He has done for us until today, and everything He will do for the people of the AES. Please allow me also to pay tribute to the Nigerian people. These people who have suffered so much since the advent of the CNSP, and who continue to remain standing. Thank you to the Nigerians who gave us a warm welcome yesterday when we set foot on the soil of our homeland here. You are more than friends, you are more than neighbors, you are our brothers, you are our sisters. Because fraternity goes beyond friendship or neighborhood. We have the same blood flowing through our veins. In our veins runs the blood of these valiant warriors who fought and who reserved these lands that we call Mali, Burkina, and Niger. In our veins runs the blood of these valiant warriors who helped the whole world get rid of Nazism and many other scourges. In our veins runs the blood of these valiant warriors who were deported from Africa to Europe, America, Asia, or whatever, and who helped build these states during slavery. In our veins flows the blood of worthy men, of robust men, of capable men. And for this, let us be proud and thank you for being a national of the AES. Africa, this continent which has suffered so much and which continues to suffer because of the imperialists. These imperialists have only one cliché in mind: Africa is the empire of slaves. This is how they see Africa. For them, Africans belong to them. Our land belongs to them. Our basements belong to them. They have never been able to change software until today. It's deplorable. But how does he do it? It is unfortunately since the 1960s that these 6,000 acres of independence were given to Africa. They just placed local valleys at the head, according to them, of their sub-prefecture to be able to continue to supply them. These local valleys that we are going to describe today as living room slaves have no other guide than to seek to live like the master, to satisfy the master, and to do everything that the master dictates. They steal, they plunder our states, take everything to the master, and their wealth is kept with the master. They do everything to live like their master and always satisfy him. When the master commands, they execute. Do you know who these parlor slaves are? We will explain to you what it is. These are individuals who have no dignity, who have no morals, who have no personality. But the slave master always knew how to identify these individuals. They are always ready to betray their brother to satisfy the master. They have betrayed us since independence, and others continue to betray us until today for the benefit of their master. These individuals always continue against all odds to plunder Africa, to help the master to plunder Africa. They like to say it every year. In their economic survey, Burkina is the poorest country, Mali is the poorest country, Niger is the poorest country. We are ranked among the last. All right, if we are as poor as they say. But when the time came to take responsibility, we asked these masters to leave the place. Why don't they want to leave? Because we take the case of Niger. For more than 40 years, certain countries have exploited uranium to produce energy at home. From Ottawa to Paris, the streets are illuminated. It's light. But in Niger, it's darkness. Security that served us. When you go to our states, our soils are drilled all over to search for precious metals such as gold. But often, there is not even the slightest accessible road to reach areas where they exploit some basic social services. This is why we decided to revolt and take the destiny of our countries into our own hands. There are many other examples, but when we decided this, we were approached by some parlor slaves to give us their master's message, because they had created this sort of polymer chain that sticks up at the head of our states to serve them. And we have come to break the chain, and it's inconceivable for them. They therefore approached us and asked us to join the ranks to form part of the elite who must lead Africa because they have a trained and formatted elite who must follow, who are embedded in this chain. We refused to join their ranks, and from then on, hostilities began. They have led several mercenaries, trainers, and agents into our areas who have descended into the Sahel to hope to carry out barbaric, cowardly attacks against our populations, to hope to revolt them. In addition to these attacks on the ground, communicational attacks, manipulation, disinformation, etc., are full in their souls.
Hello guys, welcome to the show. I think this one is kind of like not my usual video I do, but I just saw this video online and I decided to comment about it because there was a lot of things going on in Africa that I think we all has to address, but sometimes I feel like we don't take the situation very seriously. The issue in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger is something that should be an eye-opener for all of us. And for all of us to understand that we have got to take our own destinies into our hands, right? We have got to look at the situation unfolding and realize that there is no way we can get out of it if we do not become proactive. The problem in Africa is that we have had leaders for years who do not have the African spirit at heart. We have had leaders for years who care only about themselves but not the people. We have had leaders for years who just want to line up their pockets and that of their friends and families. They've never cared about the ordinary person. They've never cared about you and I. And more too often, they bring things to distract us. When they have failed in their endeavors to get their job done, they will bring things to convince us. They will bring things to deflect us from what is actually going on. That is why you will see ECOWAS, that is supposed to be an African body looking out for Africans and Africans alone, sanctioning an African nation for breaking away from the shackles of the French. That is why you see Tinubu, who is supposed to be looking out for Africans, sanctioning an African country for doing what was right for them to move out of the present situations that they were or that they are. And like you heard what President Ibrahim Traore said, how can you believe that a country like Niger, that is blessed with so many natural resources, unable to take care of itself? How can the people in Niger be in darkness while France power its street and even sell some excess power resources to other countries in Europe? How come? How come can they tell us that we are poor, we are backward, but when we ask them to leave, they don't want to go? How come? Niger kicked France out, but France refused to go. It was like a talk of war for France to move out of the country. They come to Africa and they tell us how backward we are, how barbaric we are. And when we say, okay, fine, we know we are poor, we know we are backward, we know we are underdeveloped, we know we are nobody, but please, just go. Leave us alone. We want to be by ourselves. They turn around and they refuse to move out. They refuse to go. It's like someone came to your house and start squatting in your house. And all that person does is complain about your house. Your house is not good. Your house is leaking. Your house is unpaved. Your house is unhygienic. Your house is broke. And you'll be like, okay, I have realized that my house is not a favorable place for you to be, that you do not like staying in my house. So please, can you just go? And they turn around and say, we won't go. We will not leave. You have no right to kick us out of your house. You have no right to do that. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Listen, Africa is blessed. Africa has a lot to take care of itself. What we need in Africa are good leaders. We need leadership in Africa. I have said this many, many times. I will just say it again and again. We need leadership in Africa. We need people who love Africa. We need people who can think on how to move Africa forward. We do not need leaders who are beholden to Western masters, to Western puppet masters. We do not need leaders who are put in place by Western colonial masters. We don't need them. We need leaders who are put in place by the people, who will be there for the people, who will stand for the people. Those are the leaders that we need in Africa. And until we have leaders like that, who are able to look at the problem and then start bringing meaningful solutions to them, we will go nowhere. We will go nowhere. Africa has got to rise up. Africa has got to wake up and smell the coffee. But you guys out there, let me hear your take on what the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, said during the conference in Niger. Do you think he is right or not? And do you think that the coups in the Sahel region was necessary or not? Let me hear your take in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, please do us a favor, like this video, share it, support the channel by subscribing, because that helps us a lot and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.